Good evening, students. Good evening, students. Yesterday we discussed about the importance of being reproductively healthy. Reproductive health is very important aspect of our life because it is not only the proper functioning of the reproductive organs, it is affecting the social and emotional state of that person as well. So being reproductive healthy is very important, and as per the WHO, it is the mental, physical, social and emotional well-being. So it is not just the reproductive organs. If we see in a holistic view, it is including your emotional health, your social status, your social health, and your mental health. So this all depends on the reproductive health. And we also saw yesterday, we learned that when these programs were started in India and what are the different things on which the government and non-government organizations are working to keep the citizens of India reproductively healthy. Clear? Now today we are going to discuss that what are the contraceptive methods. What are contraceptive methods? Contraceptive methods are the methods which are used by the couple, the sexual partners, to avoid unwanted pregnancies. Because pregnancy is not always wanted. So, when the pregnancy is not wanted, it is not desired, then how to avoid that pregnancy? So these methods are called contraceptive methods, and there are various kinds of contraceptive methods available, and depends on the choice of the couple, the which one they want to use. And every contraceptive method has its advantage and some disadvantage in the form of side effects as well. So we are going to discuss everything about contraceptive methods, but broadly if we see, these contraceptive methods can be divided into as physical barriers, as natural methods, as oral contraceptives in the form of the pills. Saheli is one of them. Then there are implants, then there are injectable contraceptives, then there are intrauterine devices which are fitted into the uterus of the female. And then there are surgical methods as well, where the contraception is more or less permanent, and that the sterilization methods, these are used by the couples who have completed their families, so they need not be worrying about the conception every time. So that's why they go for sterilization method, that is by surgical method. So today we are going to learn about different contraceptive methods, and in as far as examination point is concerned, this topic is very important, and 3 marks question, 5 mark question comes from this. Clear? So let's start this today's topic, that is contraceptive methods. Now, contraceptive methods are the methods which help prevent unwanted pregnancies. The pregnancies which are not desired for, these pregnancies are prevented by these methods. Now, what can be the function of these contraceptive methods? Because now, with our knowledge of the last 3 chapters, we know that conception or the fertilization occurs when there is meeting of male gamete with the female gamete, that is ovum with the sperm. So, if we can prevent the meeting of sperm and ovum, or we can prevent the ovulation, or we can prevent the insemination, we can avoid the pregnancy. If there is no meeting of sperm and ovum, the pregnancy cannot happen. So these contraceptive methods are based on these things only. Either they are helping in prevention of meeting, or they are helping in no ovulation, or they are helping the hostile environment for the sperms so that the sperms cannot reach the fallopian tube for fertilization. So we will see what are the different categories, but before that we should know that an ideal, what an ideal contraceptive should be. What should be the characteristics in the contraceptive to make it an ideal contraceptive? So first of all, user friendly. User friendly means the person, the couple or the sexual partners which are there who are using it, it should be user friendly. It should not be a bothersome thing, or it should not be a problematic thing for the users. Then it should be easily available. Third is it should be effective. It's not that when they are using these methods, it should be effective and reversible. Effective means that there should be maximum percentage of the chances that there will not be any conception, there will not be meeting of ovum with sperm, or there will not be pregnancy. And reversible also, because in most of the cases when the young couples they are opting for these contraceptive methods, it is because to keep the gap between two children, or to have the sufficient time after their marriage till the first child. So these methods should be reversible as well. They should be reversible. That means once the couple is ready to have a baby, they can reverse this contraceptive method with no or least side effects. So this is the third thing which should be there in the contraceptive method. And the another thing which should be there in the contraceptive method is that it should not interfere with the sexual desire, drive, or the sexual act of the user. Because if the contraceptive method is not giving the sexual pleasure to the partners, then it is of no use. So it should not interfere with the sexual drive, sexual desire, or the sexual act of the user. Now, there are a wide range of contraceptive methods which are presently available, and we have to study all of them in this syllabus of 12th standard to make everyone aware about these contraceptive methods. So, wide range of contraceptive methods can be broadly grouped into different categories. So, we will go category wise. First of all, it natural method. Now, natural method, as the name suggests, that it is natural. The couple, they are not using anything. It is natural. Natural means the no chemicals are used and no devices are used. So these methods work on the principle of avoiding chances of meeting of ovum and sperm naturally. Now, as we know with our knowledge of previous chapters, that ovulation occurs in the on the 14th day of the menstrual cycle, in most of mid of the menstrual cycle. So the couple can calculate the probable days on which there are maximum chances of ovulation to occur. And if they abstain themselves, or if they avoid sexual intercourse during those days, the chances of pregnancy are very, very less, and absolutely more. And if the ovulation period, like if they are abstaining from coitus for 5 or 6 days, then the chances are very less that the female is going to be pregnant, because during the ovulation the sexual intercourse has been avoided. So the couples avoid or abstain themselves from coitus. Coitus is sexual intercourse from day 10 to 17, because you have to make this method an effective one. The number of days should be more. It's not that you are abstaining only on 14th day. That would not help, because here prefix and suffix here and there some margin should be left. So it should be 10 to 17 days to be very sure and safe. So 10 to 17 day of the menstrual cycle, when ovulation can be expected, could be expected, the couples they avoid or abstain from coitus. So this type of natural method is called periodic abstinence. That means periodic abstinence is the natural method where the couple is avoiding or abstaining from coitus, from sexual intercourse, from days 10 to 17th of the menstrual cycle. So they have to keep the record. From first day of the menstrual flow, they will calculate the menstrual cycle, and 10 to 17 days are the risky days. These days are also called fertile period, because these are the days where the chances of fertilization is maximum. It's there. Now, conception could be prevented by abstaining from coitus during this fertile period. So, this period is called fertile period, when the chances of ovulation are there, and if the couple is abstaining themselves from intercourse, sexual intercourse during these days, they can avoid pregnancy, they can avoid conception. So that this type of method is called periodic abstinence. Now, the another method, which is also natural method, is withdrawal or coitus interruptus. Now, what is withdrawal? Withdrawal is to withdraw, to take it out. So, what happens in this natural method? The male partner, he withdraws his penis from the vagina just before ejaculation. Now, ejaculation is what? Transferring of semen into the genital tract of the female. So, just before the ejaculation, when he is going to ejaculate the semen, just before that, he withdraws his penis from the vagina. So, this method also helps in prevention of conception, and this is called withdrawal or coitus interruptus. And by this method, insemination is prevented. So in this method, no sperms are entered into the female genital tract, and there are no chances of pregnancy. So this is second type of natural method. Another type of natural method is lactational amenorrhea. Now, what is this lactational amenorrhea? Lactational means the period, lactation period. During this lactation period, when the mother is feeding her child by milk through her mammary glands, that time the ovulation and menstrual cycle do not occur. So there are no chances of pregnancy, there are no chances of fertilization. So this method is based on the fact that during lactation period, the chances of conception are almost nil. Ovulation and menstrual cycle do not. When the mother is feeding her child during the period of intense lactation following parturition, this period, the ovulation and menstrual cycle do not occur. So this is the period which is safe, and which is safe as far as conception is concerned, and there are very less or almost nil chances of the female getting pregnant. So this is another, as long as the mother breastfeeds the child fully, chances of conception are nil. So these are the three methods which are natural, where no chemicals are used, no devices are used. That's why they are called natural methods. One is periodic abstinence, second is withdrawal or coitus interruptus, and third is lactational amenorrhea. Now, in these are natural methods. So the very big advantage of these methods is that there is no side effect. There cannot be any side effect because these methods are natural. But at the same time, there is risk also, because these methods are not 100% effective. There are chances of getting pregnant during these, if you are following these natural methods. But still, because if suppose for in withdrawal, the from penis some semen has been ejaculated, there are chances of lady getting pregnant. Now, during lactational period also, during the period of intense lactation, if the female is the breastfeeding is not enough and the ovulation starts, because that is only for few months, 4 to 6 months. So if ovulation starts there are chances of conception. And the first is periodic. So periodic means if there is some mistake in your calculation, then there are chances. So these natural methods, the biggest advantage is that there are no side effects, but at the same time, the disadvantage is that they are not 100% effective. As no medicine or devices are used in natural methods, there are no side effects of these methods. But the chances of failure of these methods are also high. You cannot rely completely, or you cannot say that these are 100% efficient methods. Clear? Now let's move to the second category of contraception methods, and the second category is barrier. Now, what is barrier? You have seen road barriers. When we are moving somewhere, there is a barrier, so you cannot go the other side. Similarly, this barrier method is that physically some barrier has been put so that the sperms cannot meet the ovum. So these methods are called barrier methods. So in these methods, the physical meeting of ovum and sperms are prevented with the help of barriers. Now, what can be these barriers? These barriers, they are available for both males as well as for females. And they are called condoms. Condoms are one of the physical barrier which is freely available in the markets, and these condoms are made of thin rubber latex sheet. These are used to cover the penis in case if the male partner is using it, or the vagina and cervix can be covered by condoms if the female partner is using it. So these barriers, what these condoms are doing, they are preventing the conception by preventing the entry of semen into the female's reproductive tract. So there are no chances of meeting of ovum with the sperm, and there are no chances of ovum getting fertilized and pregnancy. There are no chances of pregnancy. Now, condoms, this is one mark, very important question, very frequently asked question, that this condoms give additional benefit. Now, what is the additional benefit of condom is that one function is that they are used as a contraceptive method, and they are acting as a physical barrier. The another benefit of condoms is that they are protecting the user from contracting STDs, sexually transmitted diseases. And because the condoms are acting as a barrier between the two liquids, between the two the semen and the vaginal fluids, so they are protecting the user from contracting STDs. So this is additional benefit of using condoms, because they are protecting the users from contracting sexually transmitted diseases and AIDS as well. As you know that the AIDS can be the causes of AIDS are one, not only the sexual having sex with the unprotected sex with the infected person. These are can be using sharing needles or from mother to the child. But if the AIDS due to the unprotected sex, that can be avoided if the partners are using condoms. So condoms are disposable and can be self inserted. So the male or female, they have the complete privacy to use it and throw it. That is another advantage of this, that they are disposable and can be self inserted, and they give privacy to the user. Now, diaphragms, cervical caps, and vaults. These are another barrier methods. These are another barriers. These are also made up of rubber, and they are inserted into the female reproductive tract to cover the cervix during coitus. So now the lady can use these diaphragm, cervical caps, and vaults before the coitus, so that it can avoid the entry of the sperms into the female genital tract. So these are also made up of rubber. They prevent conception by blocking the entry of sperms through the cervix, and they are reusable. To increase the contraceptive efficiency of these barriers, because these barriers, they may be like when you are putting any cap, there are chances of slipping that cap here and there. So to avoid that mistake, to avoid that chance, and to increase the contraceptive efficiency of these barriers, the lady can use spermicidal creams, jellies, and foams. These are also available in the market. So these spermicidal creams, spermicidal means the creams which can kill the sperms. So spermicidal creams and jellies and foams, they are these can be used along with the barriers. Along with using these diaphragms, cervical caps, and vaults, the lady partner can use spermicidal creams, jellies, foams also to get increased efficiency of this method. So to increase the contraceptive efficiency, these creams and jellies can also be used with the barriers. Now, another category of contraceptive methods are intrauterine devices. So, as the name suggests, they are put inside the uterus. That's why they are called intrauterine devices. They are very effective and they are popular also. These devices are inserted by doctors. The lady, the female or male, cannot do it themselves. What they have to go to the doctor or to expert nurses to get these devices fitted inside the uterus. So once these devices are fitted inside the uterus, they are very effective in contraception. Now these IUDs, these intrauterine devices, are available in different types. One is non-medicated. Non-medicated means no medicines or no chemicals are used, only some simple compounds are used like lipase loop. So these IUDs, they do not have any medicines, non-medicated. Then the second type is copper releasing IUDs, which release copper. Copper kills the sperm and it reduces the motility of the sperm. So these are the devices which are releasing copper ions, and copper T, copper 7, multi-load 375. These are the examples of copper releasing IUDs. Then there are hormone releasing IUDs. The intrauterine devices are fitted inside the uterus, which release the hormones to prevent the contraception, or to prevent the conception, or to prevent the implantation. So because we have seen that everything is under the hormones, so if we change the hormonal level of the body, the conception, the implantation, the ovulation, these things can be stopped. So progestasert and LNG20, these are the hormone releasing IUDs. Then IUDs increase phagocytosis of sperm. What is phagocytosis? Eating up. Phagocytosis is eating up. So this, they increase the phagocytosis of sperms in uterus. Copper ion suppress sperm motility. Copper ion is suppressing the motility. Motility means movement. Movement of the sperm and the fertilizing capacity of the sperms. So the intrauterine devices which are releasing the copper ions, they are suppressing the motility of sperms, and in a way they are decreasing the fertilizing capacity of the sperms. Now hormone releasing IUDs, they make the uterus unsuitable for implantation. As I told you that everything is under the control of hormones. So if the hormones are, such hormones are released which are not letting uterus to implant the fetus, or which are making the cervix hostile to the sperms. When we are discussing about the insemination, I told you that vaginal fluids are hostile for the sperms, but cervix is comfortable. But these hormone releasing IUDs, they make cervix hostile and they don't let sperms to survive or sperms to enter. So they reduce the fertility capacity of the sperms. Now, IUDs are ideal contraceptives for the female who want to delay pregnancy or space children. Now, these methods are very popular because now once this device is fitted in the uterus, the female is free. Like she doesn't have to take pills, or she doesn't have to keep on calculating her menstrual cycle days, or she doesn't have to be worried about the withdrawal of the penis. So all these things, the worry stops, because these, if the device is inside the uterus, the partners, they are free, that there cannot be any conception till that device is there. And when they are ready to have the child, when they are ready, they want the child, then they can go and they can get it removed. So this is the advantage of these devices, and that's why these devices are very popular, and the efficiency is also very good. The next category is oral contraceptives. Now, oral contraceptives, as the name suggests, they are taken from the orally. So they are in the form of the tablets, which are also called pills. So in these contraceptive methods, oral administration of small doses of either progestogens or progestogen and estrogen. So progestogen and estrogen combination, or progestogens, they are taken orally in the form of tablets to avoid pregnancy or to avoid conception. Now, this combination is done in the form of tablets by the females. Now, these tablets are popularly known as pills. These pills have to be taken daily. Now, there are variety of pills are available in the market these days. Some are taken for 7 days, some are taken for 21 days, starting from the fourth or fifth day of the menstrual cycle. So these pills have to be taken regularly for a period of 21 days, preferably within the first 5 days of menstrual cycle. Now, after a gap of 7 days, when the menstruation occur, when the flow is happening, it has to be repeated in the same pattern. Once the menstruation flow is complete, after a gap of 7 days, again the lady has to start taking the pill every day. So this pattern has to be continued until the female desires to prevent. Once she desires to have a child, she can stop taking these pills, and again she is ready for conception. These pills inhibit ovulation. What are the effects? What these pills are doing? These pills are again the hormones, and they are inhibiting ovulation and implantation, as well as they alter the quality of the cervical mucus. As I told you, they make cervical mucus hostile for the sperm, to prevent or retard the entry of sperms. Now, pills are effective method of contraception. Pills have lesser side effects and are well accepted by most of the females. So this is another very popular and effective method of contraception. Saheli, as we had discussed earlier also, this is Indian pill, and the new oral contraceptive which contains non-steroidal preparation. That means the chemicals are non-steroidal. That means the side effects would be less, with very few side effects, high contraceptive value, and it is once in a week pill. So you have to take only once in a week. Then the another category is injectables and implants. Now, the hormones can be taken in the form of the tablets, then they are called pills. And these hormones, if they are injected through an injection, or they are put it in the under the skin as implants, they are called implants. So same, the progestogens alone or in combination with the estrogen, the combination of progestogen and estrogen, they can be used as injections or implants under the skin. Now, their mode of action is similar to that of the pills. They also can stop the ovulation or prevent the implantation, or they will make the cervical environment hostile for the sperms, and this is how they are stopping the conception. The effective periods are much longer. The difference between pills and this is that their mode of action is similar to that of pills, and their effective periods are much longer because they are under the skin. These implants are under the skin, and they are releasing the hormone. Similarly, the injectables, the injection has been given and the hormones are there. Now, emergency contraceptive. What do you mean by emergency contraceptive? If there is an emergency, suppose there has been a rape. Now, after the rape, suppose during that rape, the girl or the lady was in her fertile period. So, something has to be done to prevent the pregnancy. And suppose even in a married couple, they are not prepared for the child, and by mistake or by chance, the lady becomes pregnant. So these contraceptives can be used. These are administration of same progestogens or progestogen estrogen combination, or IUDs can be fitted within 72 hours of coitus. This is very important. The period should not be longer than this. Within 72 hours of coitus or within 72 hours of sexual intercourse, these things can prevent conception. So that's why they are called emergency contraceptive, and they have been found to be very effective as emergency contraceptives, as they could be used to avoid possible pregnancy due to rape or casual unprotected intercourse. Now, the last category of contraceptive methods are surgical methods. They are also called sterilization. As the name suggests, the surgery has to be done there, a minor surgery, and this they generally advise for the male and female partner. Either of the sexual partner can go for the surgery, and they use it as a terminal method. Terminal method means to stop. Terminal means to prevent any more pregnancies. If the family is complete, the couple do not want any more children, so they can go for this surgical method, either of them, either the male or the female. So surgical intervention blocks what? Gamete transport, and thereby prevent conception. Now, what happens? Surgical procedures may in male, if it is done in the male, it is called vasectomy, because in this case, vas deferens is cut or tied, so that the transfer of sperms is prohibited. No transfer of sperms can take place. And in females, it is called tubectomy, because the fallopian tube is cut or tied. So what is vasectomy? A small part of the vas deferens is removed or tied up through a small incision. Incision means cut on the scrotum. With a small incision on scrotum, this procedure can be done. It's a minor surgery. And in tubectomy, if the female is going for this surgery, then a small part of the fallopian tube is removed or tied up through a small incision in the abdomen or through vagina. Now, these techniques are highly effective, but their reversibility is very poor. Now, what happens, suppose by some accident or by some unprecedented circumstances, the children of that couple die, or there is some problem, or there is some disease with the children, and this couple, the lady wants to conceive again. They desire a child again. So in that case, this reversibility of these methods is poor. That is very, very difficult, because they are generally the permanent methods where reversibility is very poor, but these techniques are very effective, and they should be used when the couple don't want any other child. Their family is complete. In that case, these surgical methods are advised. Clear? Can you see this? These are the birth control methods. This is the condom for the male. This is the condom for the female. This is the pills. These are pills in the form of tablets. These are hormonal ring, the IUDs. hormone releasing. These are uterine, intrauterine devices, T-shaped, copper T, copper releasing. This is copper T, copper releasing IODs. This is injectables. The hormones are injected through injections, so injectables. These are surgical sterilization, tubectomy and vasectomy, cutting the vas deferens or cutting the or tying the fallopian tube. These are the implants. Then coitus interrupters means you have to, coitus interrupters means the withdrawal of the penis just before the ejaculation. Then calendar rhythm method, where you have to calculate days 10 to 17, and those days the couple abstain from the sexual intercourse. Then patch, the implants. The patch is has been put on the skin, or the implants under the skin, and they also release hormones. Then this is diaphragm, the cervical caps used by the females. This is physical barrier. These are the different birth control methods of contraception. This is again the natural family planning, that is they abstain themselves though during the period of ovulation, the probable period of ovulation. This is the condom for the female. This is the condom for the male. These are the injectables, the injections, the hormones are injected through injections. These are the intrauterine device, the copper T-shaped, which is fitted into the uterus. Copper, it releases copper, and copper is decreasing the motility, and so the decreasing the capacity of the sperm, fertility capacity of the sperm. Then these are oral contraceptive. This is contraceptive patch, vaginal ring. This is female reproductive system. This is vasectomy. In vasectomy, this is the vas deferens, epididymis, then vas deferens. So vas deferens is taking the sperms into the abdomen, but this is cut. This is cut or this is tied. So when it is tied, the transfer, you are stopping the transfer. This is the permanent method in males. In females, this fallopian tube is cut or tied, so ovulation is taking place, but the ova is not transferred to the ampulla region. So what happens? There are no chances of fertilization. So this is called tubectomy, a permanent method of contraception in females. These are intrauterine contraceptive devices which are fitted inside the uterus, non-medicated. This is Lippes loop, and this is S. This is made up of plastic, and this is S-shaped, serpentine. Serpentine means like snake. And this is medicated. Medicated means copper releasing. So this is copper releasing. This T-shaped copper T. There are different names, different types of these devices which release copper. And then the third type is hormone releasing, which release hormones. Clear? So today we have learned about the different methods of contraception, how they are working, and what are the different categories. As per the requirement of the couple, they can use any category of contraception method so that they can plan their family. Clear? So this is very important topic as far as examination point of view is concerned. So you have to prepare it well. Different categories, examples, everything.